cracking? Here with the Bet Elevator, episode, I want to say 6. I'm guessing. I have no idea. I don't number them. My name is Lou Betcha. With me, as always, my co-host with the most, Mike, the Catch Warrior Pod. Just as a programming note, we are on somewhat of a time constraint. We're going to try to fly through this 12-fight card as fast as possible. Thank you for tuning in. If you can, always hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that at the MMA Engine. And go subscribe to Mike's Catch Warrior Pod. Shout out to Chat War Dog. Thanks for jumping in. We appreciate you. Chris, for the love of MMA. One of my guys I see on Wheezy stream all the time. A few other people here live. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Mike, you ready to jump right into this? You got the Viking hat on. You look ready.
Lou. What's up?
All right. You got the Viking hat on. You look ready. Paul Pierce,
I'm always ready.
In the house. Let's start off. Jocelyn Edwards, Ramona Pasquale. The first fight of the night. I will let you start on this one. I know you have a stronger take on this fight than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in regards to MMA Twitter, at least, I feel like I'm on an island. I'm on Edwards. I played her money line early when she was like minus 130. Obviously, it did get a bit absurd when it hit like 170 and whatnot, but I still think she wins. But for my Bet Elevator bet, I'm going to go with fight doesn't go the distance, plus 155. I played it for a half unit. And look, both of them have been finished or have finished more than they've gone to decision. Both of them are liable. Jocelyn Edwards to get taken down, controlled, beat on the ground. Pasquale, terrible striking defense. Like, she was getting pieced up by a 5'2", 145er. So you've got to think someone who can actually strike, who has length, like Jocelyn Edwards, can light her up on the feet as long as she's not getting taken down. I just don't think Pasquale's that good at wrestling either. So,
I mean, she did lose to Joe Benavidez. She did lose to Joe Benavidez.
Yes, she did.
So we're gonna go with that one. I don't really have a strong opinion either way. Edwards is moving up in weight. She did get bullied by my girl Jessie Clark. So I don't know I don't know what her power is gonna be like, but I do agree that Pasquale is incredibly hittable. Pasquale seems to have one path here, and that's lay and pray. I mean, she was going for takedowns at the end of every round against Nunez. If she can get him early here, I do think Pasquale's live for a finish. I just don't rate Edwards that highly, but I'm just gonna take what you have here with the fight doesn't go. Root for violence to start the card.
Let's go.
Hope that we don't get Chris Taglioni here for the first fight like it seems like we do for every single first fight of the night. Let's move on to a fight I do care about, strangely enough. Silvana Gomez Juarez against Brady's future second wife, Liang Na. I will start this one off. I'm big on the Liang Na side here, and I think because her winning condition is that first round submission. It's plus 375 on Betway. I'm all over it. I'm waiting for BetMGM props to drop. I would like to see what Liang Na by armbar pays. I'd be very interested in taking a small poke at that play if I can get like 20-1 on it. I don't know if I can, but I'll see what kind of odds we get for that. I know the OMA plot is always plus 10,000, but I think the arm bars are very viable. I mean, look, we've seen Juarez twice. It's how she loses. Demopoulos got her. I mean, I don't know what Liang Na's ceiling is, but I don't think for 4 or 5 minutes, she looks all right. So round 1 sub it is for me, Liang Na. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I can't beat that. I played, what did you get the sub for? It's like plus 270 something.
Round 1 sub is plus 375.
Nice. That's pretty good. I think it went down in odds because right before the show, I went to go check it out. And I think it's now, let me pull it up, plus 275. So you beat the line.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, if it gets out of the first round, I like the fight doesn't start the third.
That's a good one.
In other plays that I'm making this weekend, but if this fight does hit the third round, I don't deserve to win it anyway. And I wrote something on Twitter today. I know you saw. I don't know that I'm going to do this specifically, but I can make a case for also taking Juarez round 2 KO. I think if it gets out of the first, I mean, we've seen Liang Na drag back to her corner with no cardio, so I think it might be live. Also, the live bet is an interesting spot here with Juarez. If it does get out of the first, I imagine you're going to get really nice odds on her unless the bookies are, the books are kind of on to nah, I think they probably know. we might not get a great price, but it's definitely worth checking out if it does get out of the first round, I do believe. So, well, you're up, Mike. Let's move on to the third fight. We don't have a lot of props for this listed here, and that's
Yeah,
Dana.
it sucks.
As in the words of Bert, just so I can say it right, unlike the rest of the hacks in the MMA engine, Dana Jiri against Kyung Ho Kang. Pretty closely lined fight. What do you got for this one?
Yeah,
Even if the prop's not out, like, just what are you leaning for? Interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm playing money line already. I played the money line at plus one. I want to say plus 120. Might have been 130. Plus 129. I got it. I just feel like he's got all the advantages here. I feel like on the feet, he's as good, if not better than Donna here. I feel like you look at who Bakary has knocked out. We're talking Guido Canetti. We're talking Brandon Davis coming back from a long time out of the UFC. And then who was the third one? It was Kevin Natividad, right? I feel like Kang here, he's better than all of those people. I feel like he can mix it up much better. He can bring in the threats that gave Bakary trouble when he fought Alatang Haley. And I am going to be looking at the sub prop when it pops out. If I can get it for anything like past plus 250, I'll probably play that as well. And yeah, I like the Kang side.
I think you're going to get better than that. I have the same play. I like Kyung Ho Kang here. I was actually surprised that he has a 1-inch reach advantage. I just from like when I think of like the way they fight, I just think of Bashiri as like a bigger fighter, but he's not. And I'm not really worried about him coming off a knockout. Like typically I would, that's one of the things, the red flag, like anything within 6 months for a knockout, but I just don't think it's going to be that kind of fight where it matters. But everybody's worried about like Kang's conditioning. I've seen people say like he tends to fade late. I mean, I thought Bashiri faded very badly against Gutierrez. By the end of the first round, he was starting to slow down. By the second round, he was completely predictable. So I don't think there's a huge and like the cardio advantage is if Kang gets to take down the first round, the cardio advantage is there. I do see a potential for a late sub. So I would play the sub prop as well. I think we both agree on that one. I do have a bet.
Round 3 sub.
I mean, I'm
going to
can't resist it, but I think for now I'm going to write down that we both have the sub here. I do think, and I think you'll know if he gets some early success with these takedowns. Like, I'd like to see what kind of condition Bachary is going to be in the third. It might just be, disastrous. So we do not know the odds, but we are both on the Kyung Ho Kang submission prop. All right, moving on to fight number 4. This is one of the ones that the internet, the MMA Twitter has. I don't want to say they're divided because it does seem like the bulk of the people are on the Jake Matthews side here. So I'm going to start off with that I still have not decided who I really like in this fight. But one thing I was going to eye up is fight to end in round 3. I think that Fialho can do some work. Plus 550 on DraftKings, plus 700 on, I believe this is Betway. I feel that, and I'm not married to this yet, but what I feel is if Matthews, he's live for a very late finish, if he gets past Fialho's initial firestorm, and even though Fialho's been finished a lot in his career, like enough times in his career, he did survive against Teixeira. He didn't look incredibly good, but he didn't look like he was still throwing in the third round. So if that guy's throwing, that KO is going to be live no matter what. But I do think if Matthews has success getting this fight to the ground like Van Camp should have, then I think that submission, a late submission, even a ground and pound is live late. So I'm looking at that prop. I haven't put anything in yet for this fight, but what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like this is a classic example of all of us having a short-term memory. Fialho, look, he's good. I just feel like he's gonna be outmatched here. Jake Matthews has been in the UFC longer. He's got 12 fights under his belt, and he's like 26 years old. He's got the grappling advantage without a doubt. One fight that I keep looking back at when I'm breaking down Fialho is his Dos Santos fight over in LFA. And like he struggled there. He was getting pushed back. He struggled with the pressure, and he ended up losing that fight. I'm going to be playing Matthews here by KO. I know that most of his wins inside the distance are subs, not finishes, but I do think his striking's underrated. And I also think that ground and pound is always live, especially if he's tiring out Fialho. And at plus 1100, like if I'm playing that for 0.3 units, if he hits the KO, I'm cashing out 3.3. So that's my play. I have a higher one if you have something.
I'm not gonna touch that. I was eyeing up Matthews round 3, but like I said, I think I'd like to have the security blanket of, I don't know how much I know Matthews doesn't have the experience marriage. It's one of these bets where like when you see so many people on one side, it does make me a
For
little nervous whenever I see it. But what's your other bet that you got that's higher than that? I'm
Jake
gonna lock in with the Matthews KO, but I'm curious.
Jake Matthews round 3 KO plus 3,500,
Oh
0.1
man,
units.
I may have to.
If my guy pulls off that KO, I'm gonna run away from this fight with like 8 units. So
I mean, a plus 3,500 is always nice, but we're gonna move on, and you're leading us off with the 5th fight of the night, which is, oh brother, Maheshate, who is the still the last person to win in the Contender Series, against Steve Garcia. I'll let you start off on this one. I don't know what kind of information you have, unless you discovered some gold mine on Maheshate fight tape. We're still working with a very limited sample size here.
yeah, so I went into this fight thinking Maheshate. I remembered him being a bit better than he ended up actually being on rewatch. And look, I think honestly Garcia is probably in a roll here. I feel like he can out grapple Maheshate, but I feel like he can also beat him on the feet. I don't think he's going to be outclassed on the feet either. And the one other thing is the one concern, I guess, is everybody's like, oh, Maheshate has no grappling, no grappling, no grappling. But we're all basing that off of a 2019 video of his professional debut, So like how much can we take from that? We don't know. Do I think he's really improved on his takedown defense? Probably not. He's still super young. He's like 22. So I do like, what's his last name? I like Garcia to win this one. I'm going to be playing the inside the distance plus 130. So that's what I'll put down now.
So I'm still waiting for this prop to come out on a lot. I guess it's here. This is a plus 550 on Bet Rivers. Fight to end in round 1. I think that Garcia either can get a takedown and just rain ground and pound on this guy, or Maheshate's got some power, and Garcia's been bonked by everybody. I mean, I know Ontiveros was a little bigger, like for that matchup, but Ontiveros cracked him like at will,
like 4 times.
Yeah, so like Garcia's not like, and he's look, he's getting chinny. So I like fight to end in round 1. I don't care who wins. I already have a prop on this not going the distance at -1. I believe it was 65 or minus
like
190, minus 190. The under 2.5 was minus 165. So I'm just gonna play at the end of the first round. This is a shit show fight. I mean, I can't trust Garcia's chin, and I can't trust, again, from what I've seen, I can't trust Maheshate's takedown defense. And I feel like one takedown, this fight might be over. Honest to God, I think Garcia could just rain down hell on him. So round 1 for me, plus 550. Can you top it?
Nope.
Right.
Cannot.
All right, so Lou is in for round 1. As always, guys, we will review these at the end of the show, but we're about halfway home. Let's get to the 6th fight of the night. I will be leading this one off. Well,
you're gonna win this one.
It's only fitting that I get to lead this one off. Brendan Allen against Jacob Malkoun. On Sunday, I posted on Twitter when I looked at these odds, I couldn't believe the Malkoun decision prop was what it was. Like it's plus 800 in some spots. It's kind of all over the board. It's got some like 650, it's 800, it's 900 over here on a Bet 365. It's got some. It's really strange how this thing has been moving all over the place. I'm not gonna get too heavily into the breakdown here. I mean, Allen is better everywhere. Allen has better fight IQ, or Allen has horrible fight IQ. This is the kind of fight it may not matter. He's going to be better on the feet. Like, I know Malkoun allegedly has boxing. I've never seen it, but allegedly he can box. But I don't think it's going to matter. And I think on the ground, unless it's Malkoun, just like Allen's definitely live for reversals and sweeps. But I've been on it all week, and it's really at the point now where if I don't bet it and it hits, I feel like an asshole. So, like, I have to take the Malkoun decision prop. I don't think Malkoun gets a finish. It's shocking to me that it's even like, what was it, plus 350 or whatever. It's shocking that it's even so much lower, unless they're just playing an Allen walking into something stupid. But I don't know, man. I just, you know what I'm playing. I know you're on the Allen side. I feel like I'm on an island with this one. I just don't care. I'm playing the Malkoun decision.
Got to
And
do it.
I win. All right. Welcome, Effie. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I'm sure that Mike does as well. We are just doing some crazy props. We are halfway home. I will review them at the end. Moving on. A fight that I guess this is good that it's you because I don't have too strong a take here. Josh
Oh, I
Coolbal
got
against Sung Woo
nothing good
Choi.
here.
Yeah, I mean, you just got screwed by the luck of the draw today on the odds on the order of the fight. But what do you got for this one?
Man, I got like nothing on this one, honestly. I have choice parlayed up a little bit because I do think he probably wins the fight. But like, I feel like this is going to be a really close fight, probably a war. If I had it available, I'd probably maybe look at the split decision prop. I don't have it over here in New York, so I can't really play that. But I guess for the sake of the show, I wouldn't hate playing Choi decision plus 180, but I really don't have anything better than that.
So either fighter split decision is plus 600, which is kind of interesting. I'm on the Choi side as well. And as much as I don't love decision props, and I just did one, I do like Choi by decision here, plus 200 in some spots, but about plus 180. I just think that Coolabao, I don't know what I think of Coolabao here. I think he's skilled. I don't think he's faster on the feet. I think Choi can pepper him. And I know Choi's got some power, but like he knocked out like Julian Erosa, and like let's calm down with this. Like a lot of people have knocked out Erosa. Like
What's wrong
he
with
did
Erosa? The dude's a
no,
beast.
he's chinny. I mean, Erosa's
Okay,
big weakness is his chin,
fair.
and Choi got him perfect. Now I don't know if I can see this go in the distance, and I do like the Choi side. I think he out volumes him. If you're on the Coolabao side for this, I get it. Like I think the line itself is too wide, but plus 180 for the decision for Choi. I'm kind of on that side of things. Choi's live for a very early knockout, I guess. But I think once this gets in the second round, it becomes like a battle of wills and just like a striking contest, but like kind of like it's just going to stay at distance for 15 minutes. I don't see it's not going to hit the ground. I'd be shocked if it did. What do you think?
I feel like Coolabella at plus 400 is interesting. I'm looking at that by decision. That's kind of interesting. I feel like, you mentioned the hand speed advantage for Choi. I feel like you can actually maybe argue the opposite. I was watching his fight against Norton BK, and I know Norton BK is extremely like one-dimensional. He can grapple, and that's really all he can do. And even then, he can only really do it in the first round. But Coolabel was looking good. The 1-2 down the pipe was great. Really good hand speed, and everything was nice and straight. So, like, after watching that fight, I was a lot less comfortable with my parlayed choice. So I don't hate the decision plus 400. I'm not playing it, just saying.
Okay. So we're going with Choi decision at plus 180 since you did not outbid me. We have some low value props. Usually we're so much better than this. This card's
Right?
kind of tricky for props though.
It
It's
is.
really not like, especially for round props, but well, here we go. Jack Della and Ramazan Ameev. I have a take on this as we talked about before the show. I do have a bet on this. I have this fight ending in split decision. I am not taking a side. I do lean Della, but I think if you look at some of these fights we've had over the last couple of weeks, we're seeing grappler versus striker where the grappler has control for 3 to 4 minutes in a round, doesn't really do much with it. Ameev is very low volume. And then we have Jack Della, who's not going to be low volume when he's on the feet. So I think I don't think Della gets the knockout here. Ameev's pretty tough. And I do think this goes the distance, and I think we get a really screwy finish where nobody's happy that took a side. The split decision prop is plus 475. And I'd like to see Jack Della win. I think this is horrible matchmaking by the UFC. I think they should have given him a more compatible fighter. This could have been a really exciting fight. Ameev is not what I would call an exciting fighter. So I'm going to play the split decision. I'm rooting for Jack Della. And if he gets the KO and I lose, this is a bet I can live with losing. I'd love to see him get a KO here, but I just really see this being like Ameev having 9 to 10 minutes of control and doing nothing, and Madalena winning the moments. So we'll say moment winner versus minute winner. You got anything better than plus 400 for this one?
I do not. I do not. I'm on the Madalena side too, but I'll just say this. I don't get betting him at minus 155 money line. That's a little bit crazy to me. I bet him when he was like plus 105. And even then I was like, this is questionable. At minus 155, like you got to look at Amiv on the other side. Like he's the vet here by a lot. He's the better wrestler. I guess I don't see him holding down Jack. So there's that. But yeah, I can't beat you. I was going to play the KO for Jack, but I'm kind of glad I don't have to.
This is a weird step up from like Pete Rodriguez. This is kind of I mean, we have somebody else on this card making a huge step up from Joanne Wood, but we'll get to that one in a second. So moving on, we got 4 fights left. Guys, we got 23 people live. Thank you guys for tuning in. We do appreciate you. Remember to smash that like button. Manel Kopp and Rogerio Bontorin. This isn't interesting. I'll let you start on this one. I feel like any way you want to play this, there's a little bit of value. There's a lot of plus odds bets here that are interesting, but I'm curious to see which side you are on.
So I've got bets on on both sides of here.
Of course you do.
So I think Kopp wins this fight. I am on his on that side. I have him parlayed a little bit. I went back to my old round robin parlay ways this week because I feel like there's a few playable favorites, but I do think Kopp wins. I think his KO prop is live, so I'll start there. The plus 130. Kopp he's got hands, man. I mean, the hand speed on that guy. He cuts the cage really well, so he's good at making the space small. And then once he cuts it, he just finishes you against the fence. He's so clean on the striking. As long as he stops doing that thing where he just loses round one, unless he knocks them out, I feel like he's going to keep winning. I feel like he can get a finish. So plus 130, I'll take it.
I'm going to top you on this one. I think Kopp just demolishes him round one at plus 360. I think this isn't even close. I don't trust Bontorin. I think he does have good grappling, but I think Kopp is, I think his takedown defense is underrated. I don't think it's not like world beater level, but I think it's good enough for this fight. And Kopp needs one shot. I mean, I just don't trust Bontorin's chin at all. I mean, Kaikar France was in trouble in that fight. He cracked him like 2-3 times. The fight's over. I just think Kopp, I mean, even look at the Ode Osborne fight. He was losing until he wasn't. It didn't take much. It was just like that. So I'm on the Kopp round 1 KO here. I think this is going to be the star-making appearance for him on the main card. He's coming in with a little controversy too. So he probably has to have a statement win just to shake it off. So
yeah, I'm going to beat you now.
Nice. There you go.
So back to the crazy ways. Bontorin round 3 submission plus 2,800. All right. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because Kopp does keep it going in round 3. If anything, he's probably better in round 3. But at plus 2,800, I kind of just had to do it. Bontorin is really good on the ground. Like you can't downplay that. He's really good on the ground. I also thought he won his last fight against Royval. Not that really matters here. Kopp is a completely different fighter, but just saying. So I do think a sub is live, and at round 3 plus 2,800, I got to have a little bit of action there.
All right. I'm not clearly beating plus 2,800. By the way, you're going to be very upset to know I do not yet have a Yambags play.
I was going to ask you about that.
I feel like this is a really tough card for a Yambag shot.
You know what draw I was looking at? I was looking at Amiv Madalena for a possible draw.
Well, there you go. I mean, I got the split on that one. So all those things I think that's just a weird fight.
Jack 10-8 round 1, Amiv 10-9, 10-9. Got yourself.
I almost think it could be the other way around too. I think maybe Amiv just gets him down for the first 10 minutes and Della comes out like swinging for the fences, like knows that's the only way he can win. I think that's live too. I think it's a really interesting fight. Like I said, I just weird booking, but we're moving on. Not a 5-round fight this time, but Joanna Jędrzejczyk against Weili Zhang. This is, I guess I'm going first on this one. Initially was favoring Zhang. I don't like the inactivity from Joanna. I do have to question if she even cares as much anymore. It's hard to say. She's been away for so long, and she's been just kind of cherry picking for things. One fight that's going to get her back in the title hunt. But I once again, for the second time today, I'm playing fight to go to a split decision. It's plus 400. Uh, I don't think Zhang's going to use. I know she has more than Joanna will have the threat of the ground game in this fight. She'd be smart to use it, but I really just see this being a 15-minute striking battle. Neither one was really close to getting knocked out last time. In fact, and if the last fight had gone 3 rounds, I think Joanna wins it. So I'm leaning at split. I'd like to see Joanna win. She's one of my favorites of all time. But I could see it being super, super close and greasy. So split decision for me at plus 400. What do you got?
Yeah, I can't beat that. The best I've got here. So I played money line on Joanna because I feel like she can win this. And also, like, we talk about the 2 years out and whatnot and how it can have an effect, ring rust, whatever. But then there's also guys like Ortega, right, who disappear for 2 years and come back leveled up. So I feel like that's a possibility here as well. So I do like her to win here because I feel like Wei Li on the other side, I don't think she's improved that much. I think she's just been as good as she always has been. And I mean, since their last fight. So I like Joanna. And the one prop I did play was fight ends in KO at plus 240. Really small sprinkle. But just because for both of these women, they never have the same fight twice, right? Rose finished both of them, and then they had a 25-minute fight with her. So I wouldn't count out a finish here either. We're all assuming it's going to be another war, and it very well might be, but there could also be a quick finish. So
I'm also just to talk to Paul, answer Paul here. I am also on the Joanna split at plus 900. So
that's
I have
nice.
not put that bet in yet. I have the split in. I do not have the side bet in yet. I've kind of been debating this one all week. Like, if I'm a betting with I feel like a Joanna bet is a bet with my heart. She is no Maria Agapova. She's a 10. Everybody else can suck it compared to my girl Agapova. But I'm in for a split decision plus 400 and Joanna winning by split at plus 900. We are on to the co-main event. Talia Santos against Valentina Shevchenko. You start this one off. You know I do have a play on this that I like as a prop, but I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I'm going to destroy you in this one. There's no chance you win this one. So I'll start
well,
late, though.
Then just end it. Then just end it right away.
I should just kill you right away? Okay.
Yep.
Shevchenko round 5 KO plus 4,500 is my biggest play. So I'm hitting round 4 and 5. I'm attacking it twice. So I'm doing round 4 and round 5 straight, like either finish. And then I'm playing it with that KO round 4 or 5 because I don't really see her submitting Santos, but I do see her getting on top and holding her down. And I'm kind of feeling a crucifix here. I know she got that in one of her last fights. I don't remember if it was Andrade or Murphy, but I think that Shevchenko's more live for a finish later than she is early. I feel like she'll put on that damage. She'll wear on her over 5 rounds. Santos has not been 5 rounds yet. She hasn't even been 4. So I like the late finish. I don't see an early one happening. I do think a finish happens. I'm on the Shevchenko inside the distance as well. So I like those spots. I do.
I was going to give Shevchenko round 3, round 4. Typically, if I see a total that's 3.5, I like to surround it if I can get those groupings. But I cannot beat a round 5 KO, and I may have to sprinkle a little bit on the round 5 prop as well. I've been feeling round 4 all week, and it seems like a lot of people on Twitter are also on that round 4 prop. But round 3, round 4, I do think it'll be a little bit of a feeling out process. And I know one thing I just want to say. I know people that are betting Santos this week. When Santos lost to Maya, like in her debut fight, she said it was cage nerves and she just wasn't herself. Is she not going to have cage nerves for this fight? She's fighting the champion. And you want to talk about like a step up in competition, like we're talking about the Della Maddalena fight. You get it from Joanne Wood to this, like really, like that's crazy. So interested to see how it plays out. I don't think she should be in this spot, but I guess we'll find out, right?
I mean, who else would challenge right now, you know?
I don't know. Grasso.
Alexa Grasso.
Maybe she's one fight away. Dern. You know, I don't know. But we've made it to the main event. Shevchenko round 5 KO. I am not topping that at plus 4,100. We were at the main event. Glover Teixeira defending against the dude that's like a real life samurai, Jiri Prochazka. I will start this one off. I don't like. It's really hard to find value if you're playing a time prop where you're playing even Prochazka in the distance. I know there's tons of people on the Teixeira side with this one. I just can't do it. I just think Prochazka is going to win to set up his loss to Anthony Smith in a year, which apparently I'm the only person that wants to see that happen. I took Jiri round 2 KO at plus 550. There was nothing else that really appealed to me. I do have some time props in this fight. I do have like fight doesn't start round 4, under 2.5 on different books, but I'm on the Jiri side. I'm guessing you can beat me if you're on the Teixeira side.
I'm not. I'm on the Jiri side as well. I want to see him fight Jamal Hill. I feel like that would be an absolute banger.
Well, he's the uncrowned champion. I think.
Who?
I think it's only
Hill
Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets his chance. But what I like about that Anthony Smith fight, and again, I know I'm like the only person that like wants this fight, is that at least Smith can threaten with like I don't think Teixeira can threaten with stand up here. I think he's going to come in one dimensional. He'd be a fool to really exchange with him. But I do think at least with Anthony Smith, the threat of the takedown is there to where Anthony Smith's going to be like, let's strike, dude. I don't care. It's going to end with Anthony Smith. He's going to get killed. But I do want to see Anthony Smith get one more title shot. I would like just remember there's a universe out there where he takes the DQ win against John Jones and wins the title. Like there's a universe where he's like, yep, I'm hurt. Like,
but then loses it a year later.
Well, still, but like, just imagine if that was the chain of events. Like, we might have been had hot potato on that title belt. But well, we made it. We said we had a time constraint. Said that's pretty good timing to get through all 12 fights. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Mike, tell the people where to find you.
Well, first of all, you skipped me on this one.
Oh shit! No, you said you couldn't beat it.
Oh no, I could. What was yours again?
Plus 5.
I just said I'm not betting Glover. I did bet Jiri in round 3 and round 4 by KO. So plus 1800 is the big one. I know that literally everyone thinks this ends early, and I agree. But first sprinkle, I like those odds. I think we can make it to round 3. I wouldn't say that's the craziest thing. I hope we see Jiri with some kind of, not just being a madman, just kind of taking his time. And if he does that, maybe we can get to round 3. It's going to be a sweat. Don't get me wrong, but that's why it's only a 0.1 unit stake.
Well, I'm not topping you on this one. So I am just going to recap the bets, and then you can tell the people where to find you. How about that? All right. So what we got here is first fight of the night. Mike has Edwards Pasquale. Fight does not go the distance, plus 155. I have Liang Na round 1 submission, plus 375. We both are on the Kyung Ho Kang sub. Mike has the Matthews KO plus 1100 and the round 3 KO plus 3500. I have the Garcia Machete fight plus 550 ending in the first round. If I could do KO in the first round, I would, but I did not see that one offered. I am on Jacob Malkoon decision plus 800. I could not resist. I'm also on Sungwoo Choi decision at plus 180. I am also on the Jack Della and Ameev split fight to end in a split at plus 475. I may take a look at the Madalena split as well. Mike's on the Bontarine round 3 submission at plus 2,800, which is just crazy number right there. I'm on the Joanna split, fight ending in a split at plus 400, and her personally to win by split at plus 900. Mike is on Shevchenko, a bunch of late round props. The biggest one is the round 5 KO at plus 4,500. And Mike is also on Prochazka round 3, round 4. I believe the round 4 KO is the 1,800. Yes.
Yeah,
that's the one. Okay. Those are the recap of the bets we are going to put in after the show. Mike, tell the people where to find you.
Yes, sir. So you can find me on Twitter at Couch Warrior Pod. That's where I post my picks as soon as I make them. Last night for the Road to UFC fights, I was literally making the picks at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and I swept. So definitely check that out. And for my shows on Tuesdays on my YouTube channel, the Couch Warrior Podcast, I break down the fights from a betting perspective. I go through each fight, the drill. And then on Wednesdays, I do my fantasy show where I cover prize picks. That's my personal favorite. I cover underdog fantasy and recently just started covering monkey knife fights. So that's me. And then this show, obviously, my favorite show of the week, every week on Thursdays. So.
All right. You can find me at Lou Betcha on Twitter. I do 2 shows on this network a week. I do this one and then tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern time every Friday, except for next Friday. Every Friday with Monk, we break down DFS and we break down the gambling stuff where I give picks that are not necessarily 10-1 shots for every single fight. And then I do the John Kelly panel Saturdays at noon, as Mike does as well, even though he admitted that from his appearances. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great night. 8 o'clock probability on this network with Weezy and Brady. If you haven't seen that show yet, Weezy does some crazy data science to break down time props versus historical probability and divisions with the fighters. It's awesome. It's a really cool thing that he came up with, and he has found tons of edges on some of these fights as we've just been doing this show. So make sure to tune in that 8 o'clock. Other than that, I got nothing left. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe.